everyone. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Fangirlz Assemble. Today is a very, very special episode. It's our 50th episode.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! You guys are so enthusiastic, enthusiastic for a Friday evening. Like
We're all tired. That's what it is.
that's true.
I am. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, you can think about it in the sense like, oh, okay, it's been a long week. But I look at it as like, it's the beginning of the weekend.
Guys, I work Sunday. It's not my weekend.
Oh,
True. Sorry, we're not rubbing it in your face.
That's okay. It's fine. I'll live, maybe.
You know what? You can do in this time, sad time. There is a place you can go to buy books.
That's right.
Maddie, do you want to tell her where she can go to buy books?
yeah, listen, you can go to InStockTrades.com. You take your payday money, you go right over there, you buy some books. There's also a special discount code right now, too.
Yeah.
So not only can you get most comics up to 42% off, up to 50%, and also free shipping if you spend over $50, but this weekend, they've got a code, you can extra 3% off. Now, if I knew that code off the top of my head, I would tell you what it was.
Beat the heat. I got it, guys. Don't worry about it.
Beat the heat because it's so hot here. It has been so hot here. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's just
We're in the Midwest. We know.
yeah.
Like here in East Coast, I think I spontaneously combusted like multiple times because it was so hot here. So yeah, beat the heat, and you cannot beat the price that InStockTrades offering. Also, this until this Tuesday, we have our pick of the month. What is
Can you say it now? Can you say it now? Bottom feeders.
Bottom feeders, BTTM, FDRS. It's so much easier when you know what it means. By Ezra Clay Daniels, who we love his book Upgrade Soul, so we had to pick this one to read this. Supposedly it's something about gentrification and body horror combines, and I am just so looking forward to this. And it's currently at 45% off, but with Beat the Heat, you can get it for 48% off.
It's amazing.
Beat that deal. Come on, guys. So go to InStockTrades.com for all your collected editions needs. With that out of the way, what are we talking about today?
Looks like we were having like a retrospective, right? So it's our 50th episode today. So time to revisit everything we talked about this past 50
Yeah,
episodes.
every single episode. We're gonna be on for like 10 hours. We're gonna talk about every episode and everything we've ever talked about. It's gonna be amazing. Thank you all for showing up. No one's here. It's great.
It's going to be fun. Like it's not going to be like, because we were actually talking about it. Like, what did Fangirlz Assemble, the show, brought to us? So before we get started, though, I do want to thank all the guys at the Omniverse Live show for giving us this opportunity, because it was like amazing for them to just, especially I think, yeah, it was Jess and Gabe who reached out to me and said, like, hey, would you like to do a show? I'm like, I know the perfect crime fighter partners for this. And I reached out to two of you. I'm so happy that both of you said yes. And then that's how Fangirlz Assembled. That's our origin story, guys.
Yeah.
And it was actually about a year ago, not exactly to the year. That's
crazy.
This. I cannot believe. Can you believe that it's been a year?
No.
Not at all.
Right.
I can't even believe you even messaged me. I remember that. Like, I was like, what? Does she even know who I am? Like, I was so confused.
Remember I told you my loyalty is pretty fickle, because I'm like, she likes my post, I'm going to reach out to her.
Yeah. What if I'd never liked your post?
I would have never reached out to you.
I'm glad I did. I could have just ignored every post you had.
Right? So that's why you should like my post.
Yeah.
And
You never know.
We talk about this Facebook group who all three of us are part of. That's how we actually know each other from. And yeah, and then because Maddie posted about Superman. She posted about how much she loves Superman all of a sudden. I'm like, thank you.
I love it. I don't care who does. I don't care.
I'm happy for you, Maddie.
The Kristen loves Superman too. We'll,
Do
by,
I?
by next year, in 2 years' time, we're gonna get Kristen on board for
I'll
that.
do it. Listen,
I'm
Like,
surprised it hasn't happened. I really expected you guys to like force me into reading a Superman specific. You know what? I'm just going to go into that because I mentioned this when we were talking about this topic. So one thing that Fangirls has brought to my life is I did read and love, where is it? The entire Super Sums omnibus, which I don't think I would have done before you guys praising this book. Superman's in it. Yes, he's not the main focus. It's not a Superman book, but I feel like it counts.
no, it doesn't. I am.
It counts because I loved it. Right? There's super in the title. I never thought that would happen. I also love Supergirl. I didn't think that would happen either because I kind of was just like, I don't care about any of this.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I see you, and I don't know why you don't like it. Let's dissect that. Why not?
We can.
Let's this.
Look, so clearly I've never read a full Superman comic. Okay? So I'm judging what I feel about him on his looks, on how he's portrayed in television and movies and things like that, right? Which is, I think his outfit's dumb. Okay. I'm bored by how I think he's boring. But the number one thing is what, you got one weakness? Why are you so boring? Like, I hate that. That makes me mad. I don't like it.
That's fair, because that's how I felt. You know, even like when I was getting into DC Comics, I was like, Superman's boring as fuck. I'm not interested. I mean, all the same criticisms, because yeah, you just see this guy, like, what's interesting about him? I don't understand. And then I read Superman Birthright by Mark Waid. And I read Road to Rebirth of Superman, about like the current Superman and Lois and Jonathan. And I was like, oh, they got me. They got me. I love him. And I don't like the Superman that you see in a lot of other media, like movies and TV shows. I don't care about that Superman. I don't care about perfect Superman. I like hometown Clark Kent boy. Like I like him. I like Family Man Clark Kent. And I really like him. He has a beard.
I feel like if we get, like, now that all those rebirths are on Hoopla, and if we get Kristen to read that family Clark Kent, I think Kristen will change her mind. I have a feeling.
And like I've told you guys, I'm open to it. And I'm not saying I'm right. These are just my feelings. This is how I felt, and this is all I've been exposed to. I've just no interest. I'm like, I want my superheroes to have flaws, and I haven't seen any from him yet.
Well, his flaws is he's boring. That's a big flaw.
It is, and why would I want to read a boring comic book?
One book. One book that's good for a character that can really change how you feel about them. And that's always for me in Superman. And that's how it continues with me in a lot of characters that I think, oh, that character's dumb. And then I'm always wrong. Somebody's like, oh, check this out. I'm like, okay. And then next thing you know, I'm like, this person's my lifeblood. I will do anything for them, and I will read all of their books.
No, it's completely, like, you know, I think I have also had that situation with Green Arrow. Like, you know, I was like, oh, well, this guy's just Green Arrow, you know. Then I fell in love with his goatee. He has blonde goatee. Like, you know,
just his goatee.
Oh yeah, I read.
I like your chin hair.
Like, you know, Mike Grail Green Arrow run. I'm like, damn, you know, they're just. So, well, now that Kristen said something that Fangirls brought to her life, Maddie, what about one thing Fangirls brought to your life?
The two of you. I mean, honestly.
Oh, Maddie's got to one up us by saying it first. So nice.
But no, that's the truth though, because like, I mean, you guys know I got into comics more recently, and being able to like hang out with you guys has been the best part of this, because we wouldn't have met and gotten close without this show. And like being able to talk with you guys about the same things that I care about in comic books. Like, we talk about comics, we talk about how much we love comic books, but we also talk about issues that matter to me a lot. As somebody who's getting into this genre and wants to see it grow and continue to be inclusive and inviting. And talking with you guys to give me a platform to do that, where I don't have that anywhere else, really, besides me just like screaming it at people. Maybe on occasion, listen, I can't do like this. It's just been nice, just like the highlights, just hanging out with you guys. Even if we just did this shit all the time, we just sit here like, hey, what are you reading? Okay, cool. I would still be just as happy, even if nobody was watching this. And it was just like, hey, it's our book club. Let's hang out. I'd be happy.
I completely agree with that, though. And, this is, I've been actually thinking about that when Kristen was the one who brought up the topic. It's like, I'm like, well, it's 50th episode. We should do something bizarre. And Kristen's like, how about we talk about this? I'm like, oh my God. And I've been thinking about that a lot as well. And I think like before we were doing this show, like comic books in general is mostly boys club, and through the group, I got to meet with so many awesome people, getting to talk with them about comic books and stuff. And a lot of them was like, as I was reading them, they would be coming, like, I would start chatting. I'm like, oh, where do I start? And then kind of go from there. So many people, like, Philip Evans, who's a regular over here. We talked with him. Jess, I went to the first time I met him was at a Comic-Con because we just kind of chatted with each other. Like, yeah, we'll meet up there. And then, then finally having to get to meet Omar at the Baltimore Comic-Con and later at the C2E2. Peter M, who I've been doing, I did a show with. Go to Fangirlz Assemble channel where you can see our House of X issue 1 review. Zach Rabihoff, Harry Sayer, all of them. It was like, super fun to talk to every one of them. However, it felt like there was always a little bit missing, like, not having to, there are certain things that they're all very open to talk about things, but there's still certain issues that, you need another lady perspective. Another like female perspective, I say. And I was missing that. But then once I found you guys, it was fulfilled.
Oh,
Simply.
Oh, guys.
Yeah. And also the thing is, like, there will be something that I would say, some things that are just pure bullshit, and you two of you would call me out on that, which I felt that I meant, because it's like, yeah, so just like I would miss that because it's like, oh, it's like that's you would be like, no, that's not cool for you. Don't say that. I'm like, oh, I should not be saying that.
No, that is the best, though. I mean, you guys are wonderful. I'll say it too. It's true. But really, I feel like we could talk about literally anything on here, and it's a lot of stuff that I don't see anywhere else. Not to toot our own horn, but I'm gonna. Because, like, we call each other out, and we call books out on their nonsense, and creators and things that are wrong and happening and need to be talked about more. Like not only wrong but also right. Kelly Thompson, thank you. But we don't. I don't see that a lot.
Yeah, so I think so from that point of view, I think like this channel has brought so much to our lives. And it's been, guys.
Free and I were crying earlier.
We were crying
at the same time. Not about this. Oh, bad. A cat we liked on the internet died, and we were crying. Sad days.
Yeah. So Lucy Kinsey, who we love, she's the author of Kid Glove, and then I think Relish.
Mm-hmm.
Her Instagram, we're obsessed with her Instagram, and she always talk about her cat, like do cartoons about her cat, and she passed away.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's another thing that's great about both of you, because I feel like we're all similar in certain aspects, which are the like really good ones, right? But I was like sitting on the couch on my phone and I saw that post from her and I was just like tears. And I had to send it to Faria because we always talk about Linny the cat. And then she's like, I'm actually crying. I'm like, no, but I am. Like, I'm crying.
No, I sent her a picture. I sent her a picture of like a strategically placed tear. Look at me, I'm crying. So yeah, this kind of thing wouldn't have happened without you guys. So Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just.
Um, I will say that one of my favorite memories so far of our friendship since we started the show is when the Batman wedding.
Yeah. Yeah. Your voice memos.
I was so thankful to have you too because I was like, I need to get this out of me. It was me. I was on a road trip somewhere. I don't remember even where I was going. I'm sure to a con or something. And we stopped at a gas station. And I was the one driving. I was like, we stopped. I was like, I need to talk to the girls. And just me sending voice message after voice message, just so angry. Like, yeah, I can't believe what I fucking did. Like, cursing and just yelling and just I cannot believe this.
The thing is, though, even though like Maddie was in so much pain, both Kristen and I are like, it's okay, it'll be fine.
But we were also like, this is the best. Maybe once we hit like 1,000 subs, we'll have to release those voice memos.
Oh yeah, we should. We can get back to them.
Like we would one day do that. But yeah, that was something that we were like because I'm like, oh man, I wanted to. If I were there, I would have gone and hugged you guys. Like it's like hugged you. I'm like, it's okay, it will be fine. The wedding will happen. Like
Will it?
it's gonna happen. Like,
We'll see.
it's gonna happen. Like I don't know. My another thing was that with a similar vein, I was really upset one day because I went to see the reissue of Captain America: Winter Soldier right before Infinity War.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It wasn't right before; it was after Infinity War. It's really funny because I was like bawling as I was coming home after seeing the Winter Soldier, and then I'm like, guys, I'm really sad. And then, like, what happened? I'm like, guys, I just realized that I'm never going to have Chris Evans as my boyfriend ever. Like, just not gonna happen, guys. Maddie's like, oh, you know what? It's okay. Sometimes it's okay to be depressed about some bullshit.
We all do that. That's understandable.
Most of my time being upset about things that aren't real issues. Ray Harper died, and he's a
I feel that.
and I'm still not over it. It's been over a year.
Well, and that's the thing too. We think these are real issues, which is great, and we can all like talk to each other about it. Giant Days is in it, guys. I'm still having a crisis.
Oh gosh.
So, let's talk. Let's real quick. Everybody in the chat. One, thank you for watching. We still wouldn't be here if it wasn't for everyone's support. So we really thank you guys for that. The highlighter says, just like high school, I like hanging out at the cool girls table. We are the cool girls table, except we're not mean. We're not mean girls.
I mean, depends on. Depends.
Thank you to Gio. He says, congrats on 50 episodes. You all are wonderful. That's very sweet, Gio. Thank you.
Like, yes, thank you so much.
Brian's in the chat. Iron Cardinal, El Denver. El Denver says, just so you know, Maddie and Omar have discussed Superman books for you to read. I did see that. I meant to tell you that, Maddie, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna have to write all these down one day. We'll see.
I've been pushing Giant Days on old reader, new readers over and everything.
Oh.
And it's always like, well, Maddie, this is a partnership. You need to decide too. And I'm like, Giant Days.
The end, right now.
Well, I mean, I don't care. It's out now. I'll be an old reader. Read Giant Days.
And if you don't have me on for that, I'll cry forever. So
yeah, I have to read The Boys too, so I can be angry about it.
Oh.
Say that again?
I also told Omar that I want to read The Boys just so I could be angry about it a lot.
Oh no! I mean, I don't
know it, but the show's on now, and I started that. So
here's the thing, Lee Clark. He watches the show as well, and I think you did a show with him in Near Mint Condition. He actually
really good things.
He watched the whole first season, and he said that it's apparently nothing like the book.
I mean, so far it's good. I didn't know he already watched it. I'll message him after the show's over.
He was saying that he deals with a lot of the issues I had with the book, in a very nuanced way. And it supposedly the writer's room is actually 30% women. So they probably fixed a lot of those things. I'm like, tell me more.
Yeah.
It also kind of brings up a point what's the point then? Because if you didn't do those, then it's a different show.
Yeah, why is it called The Boys? And you're gonna drive people to go get those comics now, right? I mean,
Right?
they're gonna be in for a shock if it's nothing like that.
Oh, Comixology is obviously doing it because it's the Amazon show, and it's like, Comixology is owned by Amazon. They were pushing that left, right, and center. Hoopla is pushing that left, right, and
Yeah,
center.
that's true.
Like, so I guess but if it was like, it's not, if that show doesn't have that, it's a different show. It's not that. And they also,
It's pretty close, though.
gender bend. They also cast a woman instead of a man for the main antagonist character, which I am very excited to see, because that kind of brings a very different perspective of things. Because he was kind of like Kevin Feige before it was Kevin Feige, if you know what I mean. So I want to see how they do it. I am interested in seeing that. And also Carl Urban. Man, they got me with that.
Before I read the comic. Because I'm a few episodes in, and so far so good. And I mean, it's nice to see that, like,
you've seen it?
what?
You already seen it?
Like a couple episodes.
Oh, by the way, okay, hold up. If you've seen it, you have to tell me about it. Is there a rape in the first episode?
It's a very similar situation as in the comics, but less intense. But they didn't change that part.
Huh?
I only read like one issue of The Boys, or like a one thing. So I've seen that scene. The blowjob scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's still a thing.
Oh, that's still a thing?
It's just one guy instead of three guys. Spoilers, I guess, are right at home, but
It's a weird spoiler.
yeah.
Don't think that changes the thing for me.
I don't think so. I think wait, I'll watch everything first and then I'll report back.
Yeah, okay, do report back.
Just what happens, and just
Again?
don't watch it.
Yeah, because the other thing is, like, when they go to the whole scene about the X-Men equivalent, if that scene is not how it's in the book, there's no point of having it, because that was the whole shock factor. Then what are you doing with it? Anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine.
And read it, and then I'll be able to give
report back, Maddie, because I read it for people, and I tell them, no, it's fine, you're good.
an irredeemable show. More so. I want irredeemable.
That would be so nice. But one thing,
it's irredeemable now that we have The Boys, though.
One thing though, Kristen, do not watch The Boys, because you will never touch another DC comic ever again. I can tell you.
Okay.
I can tell you. Like, no.
I feel like I'm getting conflicting responses to that. Who do I believe?
I don't know.
I don't know. Because the thing is, like, the way it drags Superman through mud, I'm like...
In other news, I guess. Sorry, I'm just talking now. I don't know if we have
You could just talk. Why not?
So, some new books dropped this week, and one of them is Mars Attacks by Kyle.
Yeah. You guys need to pick up that trade.
So,
please pick up Mars Attacks. I really, really liked it a lot.
I loved it. And even if you're not familiar with the movie or the cards or anything, which I'm not, it's really just a story about a guy and his son, father and son, and what they have to deal with. And then also there's an alien attack during it. So it's a great story.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw that on,
Oh yes. Chris Schweitzer
And
is an
I'm
amazing artist too. So he needs more work.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I have like 2 more credit left for this month, but I want to do it because I'm reading a series. So I'm going to save it for that. But August 1st, that's the first book that I'm getting.
You have to. It's great.
Mars Attack is like on my list.
Oh, I also read the most recent Ironheart. I never read Ironheart before.
Ooh.
I really liked it. I heard the earlier Ironhearts people felt really lukewarm on, compared to all the superheroes that came out around her time. But I really enjoyed the newest one. I thought it was really fun. And now I really want her to like team up with Nadia really bad. I want like a nice like Ironheart Nadia duo. But
That sounds fun.
That would be so much
fun. Smart ladies in science and technology. Right.
Oh yeah, speaking of ladies, if we're going to talk about what we picked up and stuff, I was showing Freya this before the show. First issue of Fearless. This is Jenny Frisson, your girl, Maddie.
Girl.
There's only going to be 3 issues. These are connecting covers, so I think I'm going to pick them all up because that's pretty badass.
That's awesome.
And if we're going to go show shit, look at this. Look at this.
Nice.
That's great.
I got this, like, you know, the blank sketch for Magnificent Miss Marvel. I'm just going to do this for a second just so I can do this. So Magnificent Miss Marvel, the blank sketch cover, and I got this done by Matthew Sutton, who is like superbly talented and a wonderful guy to work with. I just told him, I'm like, just show 2 of these chilling. This is what he came up with. I didn't tell him anything else. I just told him I just want them to be chilling.
That's awesome. They're chilling in the best way.
Oh my God, it is. It's just awesome. And T2 Fallen, comic books and other outdoors. He's saying that I just finished Miss Marvel run. Love the story, but the art is a little rushed. I do agree. It's like a certain like an art you know, style. To me, the story was just so good. I didn't even care about it. I didn't necessarily look into the art, but I do agree that it needed a little bit push. But anyway. So we want to talk about the books that we wouldn't have read, other than if we're not doing this show. Kristen already talked about Super Sons. Maddie, do you have any that you wouldn't have read otherwise?
Kiss number 8. Kiss number 8.
Oh yeah, thank you, Kiss number 8.
Yeah. I just want the shout out, guys. It's fine.
Honestly, it's not that I wouldn't have read it without recommendations, but I think that there's just books I would have known about right away without the 2 of you. You know, so there's 2. Like, you guys have read books, and so I picked them up. And it's not that I wouldn't pick them up naturally, but I just wouldn't have known about them. And that's a 10 of books. I mean. We did read all Big Avengers together, and I still would have read that, but not without a push, I guess.
Which one? Sorry?
I read Avengers a lot because of your recommendation.
Oh, you guys didn't like it, so it doesn't count.
It does count. It does count because I never would have read Vampirella without this show. And I just think it's really important to know what you don't like.
That's fair. And man, speaking of Vampirella, so again, I stand by. I love Kurt Busiek's run. It really made me fall in love with Vampirella. There's a lot of bad Vampirella. And speaking of bad Vampirella, and I try to be very fair, but I hate that new series. I hate it. It's not good. I'm sorry, Dynamite. I love you.
I believe it because that Christopher Priest interview, I will never get over. Oh my gosh.
Because I was talking to Omar about it, and I was like, I really don't like this, and I don't know about those guys. Like, oh yeah, I really like his writing. And then I looked into it. I looked into the writer, and I was like, if you feel morally uncomfortable with Vampirella, why are you writing her?
It's crazy. That whole interview. If nobody knows what we're talking about, Christopher Priest did an interview about his new Vampirella series. I don't remember what website it was even on. You could probably type that in and find it real quick. But it's yikes.com, guys.
Oh, absolutely.
I read that. So things like I have a very love-hate relationship with this guy because what he did for Black Panther, it's like unbelievable. Like his Black Panther run is just unbelievable. Quantum and Woody, it was good, but then some of the jokes in it did not age very well. Deathstroke, currently in Rebirth, I read I think the first couple of issues and I was into it, but I'm just waiting for it to be finished before I write it. He should be just sticking to writing men character. I think that's like.
I think maybe he should just stop writing books that are near us and we may read.
Like, just do it for you.
Well, speaking of creepy things he said, and one person, one person's question was like, hey, how are you going to tackle her costume? You know, like, how are you going to deal with that in the comic? It was a very like simple question, and he was just basically like, well, eventually got to the point like, hey, I'm not going to change her costume because that's her thing, right? But before he gets to that point, he's like, he just talks about how he's about how he's terrified of women now. He said, I'll confess, I'm terrified of women because I'm a Joe Biden. I was taught to pay a lady a compliment and open doors, and I want to be friendly and accessible, but I'm absolutely terrified of having my good intentions taken in a bizarrely paranoid light. I was
like, what are you doing? That's what I want to know. Anybody who says that, I'm like, what are you doing? Because no one's going to get mad at you for opening the door for them. Like, what?
Yeah, and he does all this stuff about how he's like a Christian dude. He like disagrees with all of this, but he's trying it. But it's all this like.
It's very odd.
Super weird.
And creepy and not okay.
Like there is a reason.
It feels very offensive. Everyone felt very offensive.
He actually did another interview at one point where he talked about, because he's the first ever African American writer editor who ever worked in like a big two, like Marvel. So Marvel he was there. But he very openly said, he's like, the reason he doesn't have a career in comics is not because he's African American, it's because he's just a shitty person.
Wow. Yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah, he very openly said that. So I kind of give him kudos for to be self-aware, but I also take that kudos away to be like, now that you're self-aware, what are you doing with it?
Because he can't be entirely self-aware if he thinks opening doors is going to make women mad at him. I don't know.
I paranoid thoughts about this interaction. I'm terrified of women.
No. I mean, when I mean self-aware, I mean like he knows about these things, but it's like, okay, what are you doing with it? Like, you know, what are you? Why do you think, like, you know, what do you think you can do to go past that, to mend the bridges? Yeah. And I get that. Like, some of his frustration was like everyone was just only offering him to write black character. No one was offering him to write any white characters and all that jazz. I'm like, well, that's great, but what are you doing to mend that bridge? But yeah, so Vampirella would be one thing that you
to a woman.
But at least Kristen tried. I didn't even try.
I tried so hard. I read the whole damn thing, and I'm very upset by it. I can't believe I wasted so much time on that, guys.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know, you guys, like, you know, I was like, I'm checking out, guys. I like after 2 issues, I'm like, I'm done. Never again.
Yeah. Philip in the chat. Philip's in the chat now. Philip, we mentioned you earlier. Thank you for the happy 50th. Mary M. That's another person you guys were talking about, like people who you've talked to, you've gotten to know. Mary M. is an awesome friend of mine now, so I have this show to thank for that, and that's awesome. She's the best. Yeah, Oracle 684 is here. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
You know what? Giant Days, I have to think, I need to think. For Giant Days and Lumberjanes and all of that.
I haven't
read stuff.
Lumberjanes yet, but the reason I actually picked up the Giant Days finally, because Kristen convinced me. Because I was really, really hesitant about this. Because I'm like, it's like, you know, another one of those things, 3 college women written by a man. I'm not sure about this. I mean,
it's so different.
So
it's so different than what you think it's going to be.
I am so happy to be wrong. I am so happy to be wrong.
I'm so happy you were. I was concerned. I was like, oh no, what if I'm the only one feeling this way about this book?
No, I mean, the thing is, others told me the same too, but I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll give it a try. But once you gave it your thing, I'm like, yes, I'm going to read this.
I'm so glad you guys did.
And I am like, I'm all caught up, you guys. Like that's like I'm all caught up. Just 2 more issues to go, and you know, it just like, yeah, I'm just as surprised as Philip Evans how much I loved it. Like, it was just, it changed my mind.
It's a joy. It's just a pure joy.
Yeah.
That's what I always say, but it's true. It really is. Like, it's the only book in this whole room, I think, where I can be like, oh no, that's the one that like you're gonna read and laugh at and you're gonna enjoy, and it's different than other things, even though it's something so it's a simple concept, but it's so different than everything else I've ever read.
Right. And like, talk about things that I wouldn't have gotten into without this. Hoopla and Comicsology Unlimited. Like, Kristen converted me to the life of Hoopla. Like, or like Hoopla.
And now you're obsessed and taking over every library in the state you're in.
Only get Hoopla. Okay?
Probably the surrounding states soon, right? You're gonna figure out a way. You're gonna take someone's identity. You're gonna sign up for every library. You're gonna have 100 checkouts.
Oh my God, guys! Here's one thing I learned after getting into the Hoopla and Comicsology Unlimited business. There is some bad comic books out there. I am so glad I didn't spend any money reading that. Like, there are some unbelievable amount of bad comics out there. Did you guys know this? Whereas I thought,
Yeah.
you didn't know.
Yeah, we just talked about Vampirella, so we know what's up.
But then again, here's the thing. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy one Vampirella. I looked at that cover and I was like, no thanks. Talk about judging a book by its cover. But
I do that all the time. I think we all do.
But the thing is, there are so many books I picked up off Hoopla because the cover looks good. Guys, it wasn't good.
Oh yeah, which is why services like that are so nice. I would have never picked up Red Sonja if it was on Comixology because I had that like reservation, which I hate because I don't like to feel that way, and I hate the bias that I have. Just like, unfortunately, sometimes I was like, ugh, how is this for me? And then I finally read it, and then obviously my life has been changed. So thank you, Comixology Unlimited, for encouraging me to try new comic books.
Yeah, it's so great too. It doesn't get the love it deserves, I think. People are always like, oh, there's like one volume of things. I'm like, I think you're not looking at the right stuff. Because, every now and then, yeah, there's going to be a volume drop off, but that's because they need to make money. I get it.
And
Paradise, right, has like a ton.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But one thing you can do though, you can do Hoopla and Comixology and you mix and match them up if you have that option. So
if I had Hoopla, I've got to go to the library myself.
You're gonna make Maddie the more you talk about Hoopla. She's gonna get mad.
Yeah, you're like, Hoopla, we're friends.
Can I talk to you about Hoopla? Do you know how Hoopla works? It's the best thing ever.
See, now you're gonna have to find a library around Maddie that somehow you could weasel her into somehow and make it work.
Luckily, my public library, because I live in a large enough city, so there's several branches.
That's why
I can reserve stuff online, and they have a ton of books I can pick up in person. So I have been thankful for that. Like when the Eisner nominations dropped, I was able to get all of those books. So at least there's that.
That's what I'm telling you. You guys all should come to Maryland, set up residence with me. We can be roomies. And then we can all get Maryland driver's license. Get all this library thing. And you guys can go back.
I feel like what's going to happen, Freya, is you're going to start your own fake ID business, but only to get Hoopla. It's going to be the weirdest fake ID business and the most innocent, really, ever.
It's true. Fake ID business just for Hoopla. Just for Hoopla. Talk about like books that I like, knowing the things. It's actually brought up a good point. Like the things that you know that you don't like. I feel like my tolerance for cuteness have gone up a little bit since.
Wow. Should you revisit Kim Reaper?
No.
No.
That's a no.
Okay.
Because I feel like, I didn't necessarily care for cute things before then. But after talking to you ladies, I'm like, it's not bad. It's a thing to have. It's okay. Sometimes things can be cute,
I mean, if you like Scotty Young stuff, like you love cute things.
Yeah, but that's more like just an image, right? It's not a continuous story.
Well, little, what is it called? Little Marvels, Little Avengers versus X-Men. You love that? That's cute. That's a whole book of cute.
Yeah, that's cute, but in a different parody way. That's different. You see what I'm saying?
No.
I'm talking about Heavy Vinyl, like for example, that one that Maddie introduced me to.
How is that cute?
It was very
I didn't think that was a cute book.
Well, no, okay, cute maybe not, maybe not the right word. I'm talking about more happy-go-lucky, like happy. You see what I'm saying? Like, everything is like working out kind of thing. It's not
Sure.
dark or grim or
Sure.
anything like that. I feel like my tolerance for that gone up. Guys, let me have this, okay? Sure. Go ahead.
Oracle was asking if Poison Ivy's Cycle of Life is any good. It's really good. That's the one by Amy Chu with art by Clayman. And it's a very, very good Poison Ivy book. I really recommend it. Stand alone. You can't go wrong picking it up. It's definitely like one of Amy Chu's best works, which is why people still bring it to her to sign after it's been out for a couple of years. It's really good.
Okay, that's good. I'm gonna check that out as well. I think yeah, Kristen, you just responded to him. Highlighter, he's talking about that to give us all the yes, please.
It's the best.
And let Maddie. We will. You know what? We'll give them to Maddie because Maddie doesn't have Hoopla. So
We'll just divide up all of our accounts. Actually, Maddie, I do have an idea for you. We could talk later. But you know where I live, and you probably have family here. There you go.
That's true. I'll ask my aunt.
There you go. Get your aunt's
Oh, I am hoping to get your neck of the woods sometime next few weeks.
Okay.
So hopefully I'll make it over.
Go tell your aunt. If she already has a card, there you go. You already got it.
Yeah.
But
perfect.
Oh, and I'm telling you, just come to Maryland, you guys. I'll hook you up with so much hoopla, your head will be just spinning.
I like your underground business you're going to start. It's going to be good. Philip Evans says his all-time favorite he wouldn't have read without us was Motor Girl. And he totally ignored the hype before the show where we covered it. Yeah, I love that book too.
Like, yeah. So, yeah, Motor Girl is also good. But I only got to know about it because of all the hype in the group, though. Because that's when I'm like, and then I'm like, do I want to? I really didn't care for Stranger in Paradise. But I'm glad I got over that, and I still read that.
Yeah. I would not have read all of Strangers in Paradise. I wouldn't have started that if we weren't going to interview anymore. And then I did, and I was like, I love this.
Yeah, I mean that's also one. That book also taught me one thing. Now, since then, I have now 3-strike policy for a writer. Like before then, it was 1 strike. I didn't care for this shit. Stop it. But now I have 3-strike policy. Strike 3, you're out of my life.
Has anyone failed your 3 strikes yet?
Alice Scott.
Mm.
Alice Scott, unfortunately, I got to let him go. Sorry. Gail Simone has 1 strike left, and Red Sonja may be able to save me from that. I'm gonna see.
It's really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna see because I'm like, no, not happening. But anyway, and then who else?
How many writers like that I just can't deal with? Because it's hard, right? Because Tom King is a love-hate relationship for me.
Mm.
I haven't written him off yet, despite everything that he's done to me personally. I was trying to do other ones, but I don't know. Because, even though I didn't like Hick Avengers, I still want to read more Hickman. So
that's how I feel too. Because the new X-Men stuff he's doing, I'm gonna read that, and you
right.
know.
I mean, the thing is, though, it's one thing that if it's like a writer is writing something that you are not into, like let's say that if you're not into horror, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna read Joe Hill's book and care for that, right? If you're not into horror at all. So I am completely okay with if someone's like, oh, I'm not into Hickman or I'm not into Warren Ellis. I'm like, yeah, I get it, because there's so specific kind of heavy sci-fi thing. It's not your thing. It's not your thing. But I'm talking more about general writers who are not necessarily have any kind of genre thing. And when you read that, you're like, it's not working out. We need to divorce. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think I have one of those either. And I have to just say, Mary said not comic related, but she wouldn't have found My Favorite Murder without the show, because becoming friends with me, and I was like, you have to listen to this, and now it's her favorite podcast. So yes, I'm so glad you listened to it, Mary, because it is the best podcast of all time.
I started listening to it, but I had to take a little bit of break because I was getting a little annoyed with all the dumb people out there. Like, all the murder stories.
Generally, the murders. Yeah.
Yeah, all the murder,
That's fair.
or the murder stories. I'm like, how are you people all dumb on both? Like, I mean, oh god. And some of the stories, I'm like, no, it's kind of your fault. You're dead. Like, and then and then some other things like, what? Like, every one of them is like so avoidable. That bothers me so much. It just like, and so I just.
I mean, for real, let's not victim shame today. Maybe it's hard to like say that, because that could happen to you out of nowhere. You could get murdered right now, girl, right now. If anything, I've learned from that podcast right now.
Because completely, the thing is though, some of the things I've like, how they always say, "How are we alive?" I actually heard that. I'm like, how am I alive? Like, how am I alive? And then in some cases, I'm like, really? But then other cases, it's like, what? Like, especially like talk about mental issues. How many of those things that they talk about could have been avoided if the people got the mental help they needed? And then I was like, it's just like, just so much waste. So much waste just got to me. I'm like, it just, so many potential lives just gone. And I'm like, no. I'll come back to it though. I'm on.
You should. It's great.
I'm on episode 80 at now. So.
I got to mention the in-stock trade sale again, just for fun, because I want to know if you guys are going to partake. I currently can't because I was telling Free before the show I spent all my money on concert tickets today, so it's just not going to happen. But I had to see Tegan and Sarah, guys. Okay.
Yes, girl.
Yes.
I don't know. I've got 2 conventions coming up, and like I'm getting married, so part of me is like I need to start saving money. But
there's always that but, right? I get it.
It's been a while, and I've been busy, so I've been reading a lot. So I'm like, okay, maybe I need to just stop and read what I have instead of just go buy some more stuff. But I want to buy that Steven Universe all-in-one.
Oh, I was staring at that too.
I really want it.
I want it too.
So I might get it.
I want you to get it so you can show it to me.
Okay, because I'm reading the comics. I'm a huge Steven Universe fan. I really recommend it to everyone because I think the stuff that they're doing is really progressive and awesome. Like, oh.
So is it like of the series, or it's more like in the same, like just like side stories, kind of?
I'm not sure. I think it's more side stories. Although I'll be interested to see what they do going forward, because there's a movie coming out this fall, and it's like a 1-year time skip. So now it's a great opportunity for comics to come in and put in stories right in the middle.
Right.
So going forward, at least, it'll be more. But I think they're just side stories, like parallel to the series progression.
I'm thinking about getting something that I haven't got anything from in-stock trades in a while as well, because like I was trying to save some money up for a upcoming trip, which I'm still not sure if it's gonna happen. But the one thing I'm really looking forward to getting is the Authority Omnibus by Warren Ellis that's coming out next week.
Oh yeah, we're getting that too.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward and the one that I'm actually counting down, Miss Marvel, the oversized hardcover volume 5, that's coming out in August 14th, and that's the one that I am just like,
you need it now. Yeah, you need it right now.
I'm counting down like a motherfucker, like I can't even. But what's coming up that you guys are mostly interested in? Like, is there anything else? Like, not just now, but with all the reprints and everything that happened, like in near future, anything like very.
I think, I don't know if I already talked about this, but the Astonishing X-Men is quite tempting. I'm not usually one to upgrade, and I have the 2 complete collections, but it's Joss, and I love that story, so I feel like I have to. And it's not like one of the expensive Omnis. It's probably going to be, like 30-something, so at IST on release day.
Right. Like, I think it's like, it's at 100, but so.
Oh, I thought, okay, so they're upping it, because it was 75.
Oh, in that case, no. Then in that case, don't quote me on that. Because
Okay.
I think whatever the initial price was, they still kept.
They're gonna keep it. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so in most cases. So don't quote me on that. Are you gonna get an Annihilation Omnibus, Maddie?
Yeah. And so I'm hoping I'll go ahead and get those. 'Cause I still need what? The other two omnibuses. I have Annihilation Conquest. Like Realm of Kings, War of Kings.
Oh, Realm of Kings, War of Kings. Now you should see Jess and mine review of this whole cosmic saga on this is Omnidog's fault, and then you can figure out whether you should get the rest.
I read through them.
Oh, you read through them?
Yeah.
Oh, did you like them?
Oh, I loved everything. Honestly, like I mean, it slowed down once it gets to that point.
Yeah.
I'm riding that hype train throughout. Because that was like my first Marvel book that I read. I read all the Cosmic Saga.
Right.
So it means a lot to me. So I think when that comes out, I'll just, I don't know, ask for the rest for Christmas presents.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I'm really excited about that though. And then like, I think the first Injustice Omnibus or whatever will come out this year.
Maddie and Kristen, you should both get that.
I want it so bad.
Because the thing is, Kristen, you're gonna love it because Superman is an evil bitch in it.
Okay.
Great.
And Maddie, you're gonna love it because it's like irredeemable. So
Well, I played the video games. I know like kind of the story, but there's limited amount of characters in those too. But I know that Injustice brings up a lot of different characters in there. So I'm really excited to read it.
only reason I'm hesitant though, because DC has a bad track of doing number 2, volume 2, you know, of things.
Yeah, true.
The story is not finished in that like, you know, the what's in the omnibus. So I am kind of, you know, but the Lucifer omnibus, I'm getting it. I know that it's not finished. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna get it. It's so good. It's so good, guys. It's so good. Did I tell you it's good? It's good.
I heard it's good.
Hellraiser now because of you. I want to read it.
Thank you. Thank you. Hellblazer is a pretty good, it's a very interesting character. Although I'm going to say, after having read now almost 133 issues, some shit that just keep on repeating. At one point, you're like, hey man, didn't this just happen to you 2 weeks ago? How did you forget about that? Like, there's a little bit of that too. But, you know, Bethany and I, we're continuing on with our readathon and then reviewing that shit. Like, I'm telling you, it's like the amount of energy that you see we both of us exude in our review, that's how that felt like. So it's not us, it's the book. I was telling that about, did you feel it was a little disjointed the other day? She's like, yeah, because that's how the book was. Yeah, that's true. But anyway, so what did we learn today, guys? A year into this, what did we learn? We love each other.
Yeah. That's the most important lesson.
That's the most important one.
Love each other.
And then we also call each other out, which Kristen just did over here. Told me not to shame. But, you know.
I mean, you know, it's hard.
Am I going to stop? Probably not. But it's good to feel called out. Like, and say it again. It's important to read books that we don't like so we know what we don't like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it helps us be well-rounded too. I think there's like value in reading some comic books that maybe you don't like. So at least you can speak on them. Because I think at some point, like I feel like I shouldn't speak on a book if I haven't read it.
And that's why I finished that Vampirella book, because I was like, if I'm going to have a strong opinion about this, I want to be able to know that it was throughout the whole thing and it never got better.
Ryan, I just couldn't. Well, you know what? I did my service by finishing up The Boys, all 72 issues of it. So I think I've peaked it.
You've done it, yeah.
I've done it once. I don't want to do it again, you know.
About everything we've read together though this past year, it does remind me that I really do like doing reviews with you guys. Like,
yeah, we need to do more of those.
I think Avengers, I didn't care for it, but I did enjoy discussing it all.
Yeah. Yeah, anyone in the comments right now, let us know what you want to see us all read together and review. Or if you're watching this later, leave a comment because we want to know, and that'll be fun. We should do that more.
Because it helps me get out of my like I don't know, like it helps me break out of my shell and read some things that maybe I wouldn't too.
Mm-hmm.
We all get to explore it together, which is fun.
That's how it felt with like Rachel Rising. I'd had that thing sitting on my shelf for I don't know how long.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And I finally picked it up because we were doing a show, and I was like, "Why did I wait so long? This is
And Lock and
fantastic."
Key. Remember Lock and Key? We loved Lock
Yeah.
and Key.
Oh, I
Lock
love
and Key was great. Yeah.
We should do another like scary book thing for October again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was hella fun. Oh, for
We all read Monster together.
Ooh, for Rhea.
I want to watch the anime, so I would love for all of us to read Monster together.
That would be amazing, and it's quite attainable. There's only 9 volumes for you, and it's so good.
And where it's free, it is somewhere available somewhere for
We
free.
can figure it out.
I mean,
You make-
you guys are both so legal with your hoopla and your scams.
I say this, I'm like, I wouldn't. But usually this is me. I'll make Omar do the dirty work. I'm like, hey, Omar, I know we're reading this thing next week. Can you get it for me? I'll do it, but if you can get it for me, that's fine.
Isn't there like a manga comicsology now where you can go and read this
Yeah.
thing?
There's a Shonen Jump
Yeah.
app
So,
too, and there's some manga on Comixology Unlimited actually. But Shonen Jump, I mean, you're not going to find Monster, unfortunately, not yet,
why not?
because it was not published in Shonen Jump, was it? I don't think it was. No.
And honestly, I'm curious to see if you would like any of the Shonen Jump stuff for me. I'm not sure. I don't think it's like, I think we have to.
We could read One Punch Man because she likes the anime,
Oh, I love One Punch Man.
and the manga's great.
I
Yeah.
love One Punch
It's
Man.
so fun.
And you know what? It would be fun for us to read My Hero Academia together.
Yeah, I do
Because
that.
that picks the genre, you know? Because
Yeah,
it combines these
that'd be great.
read superheroes and manga. It's
Mhm.
interesting to see how they did theirs differently, but similarly.
I'm all for that. I've only read the first volume, and I have the app, so I need to get with it.
It's
Yeah,
good.
I'm sure it is.
Good.
Because I love the first volume.
That one, One Punch Man is just fucking hilarious. I cannot get over it. How dumb fun.
It's just a joy. It's so funny. It's ridiculous and the best. Yeah.
Like, I just can't get over that guy who comes and wants to be his what you call it, like his mentee, like is like, oh, I'm going to, I need you to be my master now.
Oh, and he's so much stronger. And yeah,
Oh god, it's so good. And the fact that he just lost his hair because he worked out so much.
he worked out so hard. Yeah,
He worked out his hair follicle out.
he's just a hero for fun, guys.
It's like, oh
Just
my
fun.
god. That just, I can't. Yeah, I'll read that. Speaking of mentee, I'm getting a mentee at work this Monday, so I'm excited for that.
Fancy.
Yeah, it's gonna be fancy.
You're going to be Janet from the South of Us.
Yeah, I know. I told my boss, I'm like, I'm gonna be mentoring the shit out of this person, and he's not even gonna know what hit them. Like by the time I'm done with them, they will be like a fully realized human being. My boss is like, please stop talking. Fun. Anyway, so is there anything else to add?
Well, I picked up Jane Foster Valkyrie, so that's exciting. It looks so good.
Oh, you guys, I'm so excited for her. I love her so much, and now she's back doing stuff with the comic books, and now we're gonna get a movie.
It's the best news.
You know what? I didn't think when I first read Jane Foster's Thor, I was not interested. I was like, I don't care about this. And I read through all of Jay Starron's Thor, and I was like, Jane Foster, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. She's amazing. I love her.
I'm planning on reading Jason Aaron's Thor, all of it, pretty soon, and then getting on to the Valkyrie. I did read House of X, number 1. My mind is blown away. Like, I don't have mine because it was blown away. It's like splattered all over my apartment. And I did a, an awesome in-depth discussion with Zach and Peter that you can see in Fangirlz Assemble channel, which if you search for Fangirlz Assemble House of X, it will show up. Yeah, that was really like I'm now one of those people who reads single issues, guys, on the day of the
I can't believe it's happened.
Peter couldn't believe it happened.
You were so angry about it, and it happened.
And I only he can do these things. I was like, yes, let's do this. I'm gonna do this, and now I'm doing this, and
Good for you.
I'm actually thinking about picking up that Valkyrie #1 as it's coming out. I'm like, what is happening to me? This we need to put a lead on this shit because.
So are you? Are you getting like physical issues?
No, digital.
Oh.
I haven't graduated to that yet.
Okay.
But then that's what I'm saying. I'm like, hold up. How much this endeavor is gonna get me back? Because I still want to get the oversized hardcover that's coming out for Christmas. So am I going to? I don't know.
I just can't bring myself to purchase a digital single issue when it's nearly the exact same price to get a physical issue, and often they blow up, or they can blow up in value, not all the time, but it's like, why would I not want to just
That was surprisingly shocking, because when I saw that it was the exact same price, I was shocked, because I was so shocked. Oh, it's gonna be 50 cents, right? No, it's not.
No.
Apparently it's reduced the prices later on, but not on the day of release. So yeah, this is something I'm doing, guys. I don't know how much. I think after Power of 10, I'm probably going. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm very conflicted right now, But yeah,
it's exciting.
It's exciting times. It's like a changing time. Maybe I'm graduating as a comic reader. You know what I mean?
You're actually like supporting the current industry now. It's crazy,
right?
You're helping keep comics alive. Truly.
Oh my god. Without me, what would happen to comics?
I mean, the industry's been failing, and now that you're getting on board, it's gonna thrive.
It's gonna thrive.
It's good for you.
It's gonna thrive now. But talk about dilemma or like weird biases and stuff like that. Because now that I got this, because I'm like, damn it, does this mean that I have to get 10 other female superhero books to support them because I got this one? I'm like, why do I have to be burdened with this? Why can't just read one book and not have this moral burden?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope, you guys. But anyway, is there anything else you want to know?
That's what I got.
Yeah, I think we covered it. We love each other, and we need to read more books together. That's what I learned from this episode.
And it's okay to read bad books.
That's right. That's right, but we don't prefer it.
We don't prefer it, but it's okay.
But it's fine.
That's how you know what else not to, But
I also learned that the chat is the best, so thank you guys for joining us again.
Thank you
for
hanging out,
supporting us for 50 episodes. Here's to 50 more, guys.
Yeah.
50 more. So thank you so much for watching. All the books that we talked about. Where do they can go and find the books?
It's SockTrades.com.
Where you could get amazing shipping. You got to spend at least $50 worth. I just talked about how I bought concert tickets and shouldn't buy anything, but I'm thinking about it, guys. I am, because that extra 3% off code that is this weekend only. It is Beat the Heat. You get an extra 3% off your order, and it's very tempting. It's so tempting.
And currently, Bottom Feeder by Ezra Clay Daniels is on 45% off because of Fangirl's Deal of the Month. So with that code, it will be 48% off. And we are obsessed with his book, Upgrade Soul, over here.
Yes.
So we are really looking forward to getting that and reading that. And Kristen, if you're looking to get your $50 shipment, Carroll County Volume 3 is out.
I know. I still need to get Volume 2. I'm so behind. I know. I may do it. You're tempting me more.
Volume 1, Volume 2, Bottom Feeders. If you combine all three with that thing, it's $50.
Yeah, plus some extra percentage off, guys.
Come on, guys. But anyway, so what's our pick of the week? Do we have any pick of the week?
I'm gonna go with, a not pick of the week. And I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I finished Veronica Mars season 4. I'm a huge Veronica Mars fan. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything. Don't worry. I wouldn't do that to anybody. But I'm very angry. That's all I can say. I am so angry. I can't even handle it. Maddie, I can't wait for you to finish it so we can talk about it. I am so angry. I can't even describe to you how mad I am. I honestly will be fine if there's not a season 5, and I no longer support Rob Thomas. I think he's terrible. He said some things I will go into. Again, not going to spoil anything, but Maddie, we're going to talk about it later. He said some stuff I'm mad about. He did some stuff I'm mad about. He said some stuff in reference to what he did that I'm mad about, and I'm very upset. And I wish Faria had watched the entire series. But mostly Maddie, I can't wait to talk to you, and I'm very upset because I have no one to talk to you about this. And what?
Don't tell me right now, but tell me when we're done filming.
Okay. But anyway, so that's my not pick of the week, guys. Actually, if you're a Veronica Mars fan, watch season 4 and then talk to me. So I guess I do pick it, so you can talk to me about it later. But I'm upset.
Radical. Ooh.
Very mad.
That is, I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen Kristen like this, guys.
Anyone who's watched it will know what I'm talking about, because it's a common theme among everyone who's finished it. So.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
And what is your not pick of the week? Let's do not pick of the week today. What's your not pick of the week?
Oh gosh, I don't know. So I haven't been reading anything lately that much. I've been slowly sneaking stuff in, but I haven't been like my big reading binge, which it'll happen soon. I don't have a not pick of the week. Everything I've watched or read has been good this week. I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 online, so that's what I've been doing.
That's a pick.
That's game. I'm sorry, guys. My life right now is Final Fantasy 14. I just started it, so that's all I've been doing.
No, I mean that's the thing though. Vampire One, that was your not pick of the week.
Oh, I did read Secret Wars, the first one, and I hated it.
So that's your not pick of the week.
Every second of it, I hated.
It's so nonsensical. It's the most nonsensical thing I've ever read.
It's so bad.
And honestly, I thought that was Hickman's Secret Wars. So when Peter's like, "That's the best shit ever," I'm like, "Peter, what are you talking about?" I read that thing. Peter's like, "No, you didn't. How did you read that before it was written?" And I'm like,
Yeah, I am not care for this at all.
Right. Yeah. I completely agree with that. My not pick of the week would be Ultra by Luna Brothers.
Okay.
Guys, it's on Comixology Unlimited. I kind of want you guys to read it, just so we can bitch about it, because
we can do that. Yeah.
That shit is so bad. It's the worst thing ever. It's seriously the worst thing ever. Like, because what Kristen said, nothing burger. Like, how is the central problem in that comic is like, oh my god, the celebrity had a one-night stand with someone. Who gives a shit? She's not married. This is not even a queer relationship. No nude pictures were sent out. So then what's the point? What's the problem? Like, would you care now if today we hear, I don't know, Anna Kendrick had a one-night stand?
No, because that's her body and her life. Girl, get it.
Yeah, who cares?
Even if she was, it's between her and her partner. I got nothing to do with it. Like, who gives a shit? But that's the central drama of that book. I could not deal with it. I had to check which year that came out, because I'm like, oh, maybe it's like, set in 1940s? Like, maybe. No, it was 2004. It's set in 2004. I'm like, no. So yeah, that's my not pick of the week. So guys, don't read any of this, but everything else, go to InStock Trade. We'll come back next weekend, hopefully Sunday, our regular time. And, in the meantime, Peter, Zach, and I will be doing Power of 10 next Thursday, which will drop on the Fangirlz Assemble channel on Friday. Kristen and I will be doing our What's in Your Hoopla for July. Do you want to join us, Maddie, for the Hoopla show?
Yeah, you're
You'll get it. You'll get it. It'll be good.
and then you're gonna be joining us. And then, of course, you can see so much of Maddie and Miriam's condition that Maddie's literally keeping that camera.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I got like Olivia and Navy on Tuesday, and I'm doing our first anime show live on Thursday.
Ooh, I'll watch that. That's exciting.
Yeah.
With Tina?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Okay. So with all of that, have a very good night and good weekend. We'll see you next Sunday.
Thanks, guys.
Yes.